You want to see something really impressive in reference to this chart? Now, this chart represents the consumption of at least one portion of mushrooms per week over a long period of time, starting in 1993 and I believe to the third health check about 2011. About 8,500 people approximately. Now check this out. Look at the individuals that never consumed mushrooms and these cognitive scores among many domains. Compare it to the individuals that consumed one or more portions of mushrooms per week. That portion is 45 grams. It can be split over many days throughout the week, but at least 45 grams or more per week yielded amazing results. What an incredible, effective, and eloquent and simple solution to potentially mitigating the effect of cognitive decline over time, including improved mood. Now, let's look at what these domains represent. The researchers were kind enough, except for the visual sensitivity test, didn't give the definition of that one there, kind enough to give you a breakdown what each one was. And I'm just going to give you an idea of the domains as opposed to giving you the exact name or acronym for each one. I figure you can do that on your own, but it's more impressive if I read it this way. To proceed. So we're looking at benefits among global memory, attention, abstract reasoning, retrospective memory, episodic and recognition memory, intelligent quotient and reading skills, episodic memory and learning skills, executive function, attention and processing speed, memory screening, orientation, recall, and visuospatial ability. Look at the difference between the individuals that consumed more than one portion of mushrooms per week, 45 grams, and those that did not. That is truly, truly a spectacular outcome. Now, let's get into the research itself because it's good to trust, but we also need to validate. So let us proceed. The European Prospective Investigation of Cancer in Norfolk, the EPIC-Norfolk, is a multi-cohort prospective study that recruited over 30,000 individuals. Even though by the third health check, you'll understand in a second, is closer to about 8,500 or so. People aged 40 to 92 living in the Norfolk area of the UK. The main goal of the EPIC-Norfolk cohort was to examine a relationship between dietary factors and disease risk or markers related to aging. Researchers collected information about participants' lifestyle and genetic factors from interviews, questionnaires, and blood samples. From 1993, look at the length of time this observation was carried out. Participants were enrolled in the study and attended follow-up health checks on the following time points. Now we'll be focusing on the 3HC, the third health check, so between 2004 and 2011. Still, a very hardy length of time that yielded quite amazing results. To proceed, in terms of dose, consumption of more than 12 grams per day, I know it's a little confusing here because we're going by portions, not by daily intake, of fresh mushrooms, equivalent to one or more 45-gram portions per week, showed a clear association with better cognitive scores in the domains of episodic memory, processing speed, executive function. This is consistent with the findings presented here that show one or more portions per week, 45 grams, to be associated with higher scores across a number of cognitive domains: episodic memory, prospective memory, reading ability, executive function, and processing speed. Slightly higher consumption rates of more than 2 portions per week were also associated with reduced odds of mild cognitive impairment. In particular, studies have found a clear association between higher rates of mushroom consumption and lower rates of depression throughout the lifespan ranging from young adulthood to older age. Therefore, mushroom benefits may be extended to people of all ages. Again, these are one of these food groups at this point in time, at least without adding publisher bias, as a result of this outcome, the earlier to start, the better to proceed. Now, some highlights. Again, assuming portion size is 45 grams. And also this is important too because you try to eliminate as much confounding as possible. Other factors that could play a role to give you such a spectacular outcome that may have added a bias which is unintended, but to proceed. A criticism of this type of epidemiological research is often that other confounding factors such as general fruit and vegetable consumption may be responsible, either in part or in full, for the observed findings. However, quoting, here we have shown that mushroom benefits persist even when accounting for fruit and vegetable intake. To go to the conclusion, at 3HC, a third health check between 2004 and 2011, mushroom consumers displayed better cognitive performance than non-consumers across multiple cognitive domains. Now, again, I want to reiterate, this is just fresh mushrooms. We're not talking dehydrated or a particular species, whether it be lion mane or reishi. Again, all of the researchers alluded to that. This relationship was observed to be dose-dependent, with those consuming one or more portions per week showing the highest cognitive scores. These findings suggest that regular mushroom consumption may be beneficial for cognitive function during aging. Further randomized controlled trials will be needed to confirm any potential benefits of mushrooms on long-term cognitive health alongside public health initiatives to promote mushroom consumption in this older adult demographic. The results were just amazing. But you know the sad part of the study that the researchers also alluded to, and I'm just quoting from the researchers themselves, they believed the uric acid was a major concern for a lot of individuals, so they stopped consuming mushrooms. Yet, according to the research in this outcome, uric acid elevation or hyperuricemia and the perception that all purine-rich foods, including mushrooms, should be avoided. So people stopped taking it, which they said was sad. However, recent research has demonstrated that mushrooms consumption was actually associated with a lower risk of incidence of hyperuricemia. Now, just to bring up a side note here, let's bring that chart right back up again. I want you to look at that. That is just amazing. Now you gain a greater appreciation between the never mushroomers and the mushroomers. That is just an amazing outcome from doing nothing more than consuming a very, very enjoyable food for many, many people. 45 grams or more, one or more portions per week yielded that benefit, and including in individuals of a younger age, helped improve mood. Again, that's fascinating research and observation along this longitudinal study. Incredible. Again, you get a gratitude to the researchers, as we do each time, because without this information being brought to light, how would we know? That's just amazing. And as always, I am humbled you watch and look forward to seeing what you and I share next week. Catch you all next time. Bye.